A friend recently told me that she was having a hard time figuring out the difference between the Camino Frances, the Via Francigena, and the Way of St. Francis. I know it's also confusing, so in this short video, I'm going to untangle the main pilgrimage routes of Western Europe for you. Let's get started. Hundreds of thousands of people walk, bike, or ride horseback on the great pilgrimage routes of Europe every year. Most of these originated in the Middle Ages, so to understand them, we have to go back in time. In the Middle Ages, there were three grand pilgrimage destinations: Jerusalem, Rome, and Santiago de Compostela. Tradition puts the tomb of St. James the Greater, or Santiago as he's called in Spanish, in northwest Spain. Pilgrims have been traveling to his tomb at Santiago de Compostela for over 1,000 years, most commonly on the trail called the Camino Frances, or the French Way. This is the Camino of the movie The Way.
We're going to walk the Camino de Santiago, both of us.
And a whole raft of Camino books. When people say, "I'm walking the Camino de Santiago," this is usually what they mean, although there are many Santiago trails. It's called the Frances because so many paths from France feed into it. There are several major trails to Santiago that begin and end in the Iberian Peninsula. The Atlantic Ocean is the highlight of the Camino Finisterre, which has Celtic and Roman roots. The Camino Ingles was the route used by people from the British Isles who landed by boat at Ferrol or A Coruña. The Camino Primitivo is the route used by the first recorded pilgrim, Alfonso II, King of Asturias, and it's known to be a mountainous and challenging walk. Beach walks along the Cantabrian Sea and its up and down topography are hallmarks of the Camino del Norte. The Camino Portugués includes a coastal and spiritual variant and is the fastest growing Camino. The Roman Silver Road, or Via de la Plata, is traveled by pilgrims from Sevilla and beyond, connecting with the Camino Frances at Astorga, or branching directly to Santiago on the Camino Sanabres. The Camino del Levante, the Camino de Madrid, the Ruta de la Lana, and the Camino del Ebro all join the Frances from the south. Leaving the Frances at Ponferrada is the Camino Invierno, which offers a less crowded alternative to Santiago. There are many other routes in Spain that connect to the main routes. The medieval routes to Santiago outside of Spain still exist. They include the Paris route called the Via Torinensis, the Vézelay route called the Via Limovicensis. The most popular of the French routes is called the Via Podiensis and begins in Le Puy-en-Velay. All three of these merge near Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to cross the Pyrenees. The Arles route, also called the Via Tolosana, crosses the Pyrenees at the Somport Pass and becomes the Camino Aragonese, which joins the Frances at Puente la Reina. The trails continue across Europe, but as they do, they cross the main north-south pilgrim route, the Via Francigena. This epic 2,000-kilometer route starts in Canterbury and continues on to Rome or even farther on the Francigena del Sud to the tip of the heel of Italy. From here, medieval pilgrims continued on to Jerusalem by boat. On either end of the Via Francigena are two routes that should not be missed. To the north is the Pilgrim's Way, which goes from Winchester to Canterbury. If you start on that route through London, you're going the same way as the famous Canterbury Tales. In the south is the Via di Francesco, which of course remembers St. Francis of Assisi and goes from Florence to Assisi and Rome. There are many other pilgrim trails too. For instance, I only touched on one in England and two in Italy, but there are at least 80 in England and 40 in Italy. There's so many to explore and there's so little time. Leave a comment in the comments below and tell me what you're particularly interested in. And then don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you out on the trail.